What is going on, guys? My name is Drakesy and welcome back to another edition of Done Deals, Transfers and Rumours in the footballing world. So if you do enjoy this content and you want to see more, make sure to go and like that button at the bottom of your screen that says like this video. Be sure to subscribe and be sure to show your support anywhere you can, and if you have any transfers that I have missed when you watch all the episodes that I have done, then make sure to get them down in the comment section below and I'll try and incorporate them into the next episode. So without any further ado, let's get into these. So Marvin Ducht, I think that would be his name, Marvin Ducht. He used to be a Borussia Dortmund striker, obviously not breaking into the first team, and has now transferred out, I believe, to the new team, which is, I'm not too sure on the name of that team. I think it's St. Pauli or St. Poli. Let's just check quickly. No, that's fitness, chemistry style. Nope, wrong again. Player details, yeah. FC St. Pauli. I'm not too sure if that is the correct pronunciation, but they are in the second league of the German league, and something really weird went on with this guy. I mean, apparently they sacked the manager. I don't know whether that was something to do with this deal, but they took the picture of the player wearing the shirt, but there was a guy with a mask of the old manager that they've sacked. So it was really, really weird. I'll show you that picture up on screen, obviously, so you can see it as I'm speaking. But yeah, the guy who is to the left of the player, as you're looking at the image, is not actually the manager of the team. It's a guy wearing a mask, which is really, really weird. Then the next signing is going to be Tommy Elphick. Tommy Elphick, I think that is. And now this guy, I believe, used to play for Bournemouth, but has now actually transferred for around 3 million. I think somewhere around that margin, 3 million, and has now joined Aston Villa, the sadly promoted but rebuilding team. You know, they're building up what they can do to get a pretty strong team. So yeah, Tommy Elphick is another signing that has been signed to Aston Villa and has now transferred. And the biggest transfer of them all, probably of these done deals, is going to be Sofiane Feghouli. Now, I did report this one the other day, but this one has actually gone through, as you can see by the image on your screen. And Sofiane Feghouli from Valencia has actually signed now for West Ham. So that is a done deal. Now let's get on to the potential deals and the possible transfers. These are not done deals, these are just rumours. The first one is going to be Graziano Pelle. So as you can see, Graziano Pelle had a fantastic game for Italy the other day and managed to get this International Man of the Match card. A very, very nice looking card. I really do like the layout of this card. But getting back to the actual issue that we are going to be speaking about, the Southampton striker is actually very, has got a lot of interest around him because he is a pretty good player. He's aging a bit, but one of the main teams that is looking at him is AC Milan. And since Ronald Koeman has now moved on from Southampton and Southampton are now managerless and are looking for a manager, this deal could come through because the new manager might not think that Graziano Pelle fits his style of play, and if the right amount of money comes in, Graziano Pelle could be leaving the Saints. Moving on to the next one is going to be Martin de Roon. I've never even heard of this guy. I do believe he plays for a team Atlanta in the Serie A. Martin de Roon, sorry. But as you can see, he's a midfielder, CDM, that has actually had an upgrade this year on FIFA. And yeah, there's not much more to say on this guy apart from the fact that Middlesbrough are very, very interested and look likely to be the new suitors for the player. Moving on to the next player is going to be Robbie Brady of Norwich City. Robbie Brady has had a massive interest apparently from the current Premier League champions Leicester City. I think, you know, they're hoping to just maybe build up and fill the squad out a bit more to maybe not, you know, obviously reach the heights that they did this year, but possibly reach heights of maybe Champions League football, mostly unlikely, but you know, European football, we'll just have to see what they do. But they're hoping to build out the squad and make it a lot stronger, and Robbie Brady seems to be the left back that they want to be signing from Norwich City. The next signing is going to be Martin Skrtel. Now, Martin Skrtel is apparently out of favour at Liverpool at the moment. He's not deemed as a consistently good player, and he's actually seen to be a leaky man in the back line of Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool have also signed a couple of players, including Marvin Matip, brother of Joe Matip, on a free agent, and he will now be coming to Liverpool. I will flash up his card. He got a team of the season this year, as you can see. So Martin Skrtel's actually out of favour and could be moving to Fenerbahce in the Turkish league. Moving on to the next one, it's going to be This one is linked into the new manager, of Everton, and that is going to be Ronald Koeman. So Ronald Koeman has took over, and he said that he wants Tim Krul to be his #1 goalkeeper at Everton very, very soon. So whether this one's going to actually come true, we will just have to see. But they're both Dutch, you've got the Dutch manager and Dutch players, so whether they've had connection in the past, I'm not sure whether he's managed him in the past, but this one could very, very possibly happen, as Newcastle have just been relegated and are probably looking to offload players that have big, high wages that they can't now support. So Tim Krul could actually be moving to Everton. Another signing that has been linked to Everton is going to be the possible signing of Alex Witsel. Now, Alex Witsel has been linked to a few clubs in the in the rumour world, should I say, in the headlines and all that recently. He's been linked to Stoke, he's also been linked to Roma, since Roma have just sold Pjanic, so he could have been a possible replacement in Roma, but apparently other suitors are Everton now, who have jumped onto the bandwagon and want to sign the Belgian midfielder. Moving on to the next one is going to be Mateo Kovacic. Now, as I just mentioned, as you will know then, Pjanic has actually sold to Juventus for around 25 million, so Roma are actually in the market to sign a possible potential new midfielder, and one of those midfielders that they have been eyeing up is Mateo Kovacic of Real Madrid. Now, whether this one will go through, I'm unsure. I don't believe he's had that much playing time at Real Madrid this year. He's a very good upcoming young potential midfielder. He's not, but like I said, he's been out of favour at the moment. I don't believe he's starting for Croatia either in the Euros. So he is kind of out of favour, and this one could possibly go through. But whether Real Madrid would prefer a loan move, maybe he will go out on loan. But I could possibly see Mateo Kovacic most likely going to Roma next season. Moving on to the next one, it's going to be a bit of an odd one. That's going to be Lucas Rodriguez da Silva, but that's commonly known as Lucas. Lucas hasn't really kind of made it at PSG, but once again, there's a lot of signings that are apparently leaving PSG. Since Zlatan Ibrahimovic has left on a free, there's been links of Verratti to United, there's also been links of, Cavani to Arsenal, there's also been links of Thiago Motta to certain clubs and stuff. So whether this one is likely that they will just try and sell all the players, they won't have a team if all those deals come true. So whether this one is likely, it's unsure at the moment. But also Liverpool have actually been eyeing up Arsenal right mid and attacker, and that is going to be Theo Walcott. So whether they would prefer to go for Theo Walcott over Lucas, that's unsure. So I don't really see this one coming true, but it is in the headlines at the moment. The next one is going to be Emmanuel Giancharina. What is that? Giancharina. I'm not too sure how you would say that, I'm awful at names, but let's just call him Emmanuel, as that is his first name. So Emmanuel kind of looks a bit bloated on his picture, looks a bit unwell on his picture, to be honest, but he did actually start for Italy in the Euros the other day, and I believe scored the first goal for Italy, and then Pelle scored the second. Graziano Pelle scored the second one. But he had a very good game as far as of what I'm aware for Italy, and that's kind of sparked up the interest of Sam Allardyce at Sunderland. So Sunderland are looking to potentially sign him, but I do know there are a few other Serie A clubs interested in Emmanuel as well at the moment. Moving on to the next one is going to be Nolito to possibly moving to Barcelona. Barcelona are apparently interested. Nolito has come out and said he's just happy to be with his national club at the Euros at the moment. It's a dream come true, and he's not thinking about rumours and transfers and possible moves at the moment. But apparently Barcelona are suitors and look interested in him and possibly would want to sign him. But also Man City are interested in this player, so who he will go to, we will just have to see. But Barcelona are seeming to be the front contenders up to now. Moving on to the next one is going to be Sadio Mane. Now, Sadio Mane has been linked to Manchester United for ages and ages and ages, but could this be the transfer window when it eventually comes true? He's a proven Premier League goal scorer. He scored the fastest hat-trick in football in history, I believe, and I think it took him 5 minutes or something ridiculous last year. And he's had another fantastic season at Southampton, but seeing as though there has been the departure of Ronald Koeman from Southampton, the whole club could get rebuilt. So once again, if the new manager comes in and wants to make a bit of money and build his own team, Sadio Mane could actually be leaving to join Manchester United. Moving on to the next one, it's going to be Vincent Janssen. Now, Vincent Janssen was actually linked to Tottenham, and it didn't make much sense to me, seeing as though at the moment Tottenham seem pretty okay for strikers. They've got Harry Kane, who's their main striker. He was the highest goal scorer in the Premier League last season. Now, whether this guy would have been a backup to him, I'm not too sure. But another team that are possible suitors are Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga. Now, Wolfsburg, I think, still have Bastos at the moment as their striker, but he's not doing too well. And I believe that if Vincent Janssen did actually move from AZ Alkmaar to Wolfsburg, he would become their potential first team striker, so this one could come true as well. Moving on to the next one is Steven Lichtsteiner. Sorry, I struggled on his first name and then managed to say his last name, but Lichtsteiner at the moment is out at the Euros with his club Switzerland, but it seems like he could be out of favour at Juventus, seeing as though Juventus have actually just signed Dani Alves on a free agent from Barcelona. So he could be the out of favour right back, and he's actually looking for a potential move. One of the clubs that seem like suitors at the moment are Man City. Another team that are interested are Chelsea, but there are a lot of potential transfers for Chelsea coming up in a minute, so I preferred to say that Man City were interested rather than having about 5 potential transfers for Chelsea. So yeah, Lichtsteiner could be moving to the Premier League very, very soon. We'll just have to see. Moving on to the next Man City signing is going to be Victor Valdez. Now, if you don't know, Victor Valdez was at Manchester United. He didn't do too well, so he was sent out on loan to Standard Liège in the Belgian Pro League. As far as I'm aware, he did pretty decent out there, but he's come back from his loan and he's actually been let go on a free agent from Manchester United. So that says it all. So he's actually once again a free agent. He seems to have lost that certain touch that he had back in the day. And he's just got progressively worse. So it's looking a bit bleak for him at the moment. But apparently Man City are seemingly suitors, which is a massive news, seeing as though he's just come from United and then could possibly be a free agent and then joining Man City. So whether this one will happen, we'll just have to see. But Man City are looking interested in signing Victor Valdez on a free. Moving on to the next one, it's going to be Andre Gomez. Andre Gomez has actually been linked to Chelsea, for quite a while now. But apparently Chelsea have actually put a 32 million bid in for the Valencia midfielder, and apparently it could actually be going through this one, but a 32 million bid has just been rejected from Valencia, so Chelsea are obviously going to try and counter that and come back with a bigger offer. So this one could be very, very likely, and Andre Gomez could be in the Premier League next season, seeing as though bids have actually been put down for the player. Moving on to the next Chelsea one is going to be a centre-back from the Serie A, and that's going to be Antonio Rudiger of Roma. So obviously Roma are looking a bit weak at the moment, but they've had a massive amount of money since Pjanic has left, and they're hoping to possibly rebuild off that money. But another signing that could be on his way out if they choose to is Antonio Rudiger to Chelsea. A very, very pacey centre-back from Germany. I think he actually started for Germany the other day as well. He's a pretty good player from what I've seen, particularly young as well, born in 1993, which makes him, I believe, about 25-6, which is pretty young for a centre-back, to be fair, and he could be on his way to Chelsea as well. Moving on to the next Serie A centre-back that's linked to Chelsea is going to be Leonardo Bonucci. Now, Leonardo Bonucci is a very good centre-back for Juventus, and I can't see them letting him go. But if the right amount of money comes in, once again, Chelsea are very interested and really want to get the player. So if they want him and they've got the money, then it could go through. We'll just have to see. Moving on to the last Chelsea one, I believe, is going to be Steve Mandanda. Now, this one seems very likely to come true. The club are all interested. He's currently at Marseille. As you can see, he's had a good season. He got a team of the season, and Chelsea are apparently very interested in signing the player. They obviously want to rebuild after that awful season last season, and as you can tell, they're linked to a lot of players. But Steve Mandanda seems to be the goalkeeper that they want to sign. What this would do to Asmir Begovic, he's currently, I think, the second goalkeeper at Chelsea, so whether he would drop down to being the third choice goalkeeper or whether they would actually be looking to sell on Thibaut Courtois, I'm not too sure. But we'll just have to see what goes on. But Steve Mandanda is actually linked to Chelsea. Whether this one falls through and they actually just want to keep Courtois, we will see in the near future. Moving on to the next one, it's going to be a transfer that's linked into the last one, and that's going to be Robert Lewandowski potentially moving to Real Madrid. Now, I do believe that his agent did come out and say this is absolute rubbish, the player won't be moving this summer, forget it, it's not going to happen. But then again, that could just be playing down the fact that it is very, very close to happening. But that is going to be Robert Lewandowski potentially moving to Real Madrid. Now, it does seem like this could happen, but personally I don't believe it will happen until maybe next transfer window or the transfer window after that in a year's time. But Bayern Munich don't really want to get rid of the player. The player, as far as I'm aware, is happy at Bayern Munich. The agent is playing down talks of him moving to Real Madrid, but then again, it is Real Madrid. Champions League winning Real Madrid. So we'll just have to see whether this one comes true, but this one also links into the next signing, and that's going to be Zlatan Ibrahimovic possibly moving to Bayern Munich. Now, it all seemed wrapped up, and it seemed like Zlatan Ibrahimovic is very, very close to signing with Manchester United after he's been let go from PSG on a free agent. But if this deal does go through from Real Madrid for Lewandowski, then the potential signing of them wanting to get a new striker up top, and that potential signing is Zlatan Ibrahimovic to Bayern Munich. So whether this one is true or not, it is being reported, but fingers crossed. Robert Lewandowski does stay at Bayern Munich, so Manchester United could be on target to getting Zlatan Ibrahimovic, because that would just be absolutely awful if for weeks and weeks now he's been coming to United but it's never been confirmed, and then out of nowhere Bayern Munich come in and grab him. But we'll just have to see. But that's been the wrap up of transfers. I hope you've enjoyed it. My name's been Drakesy. Make sure to support the channel in any way you can. Thanks for watching, and see you in a bit.